Hey, listen, I've coached hundreds of students and professionals alike. And what I've learned is that the smartest people aren't always the ones that are the most successful. The successful people are the ones that learn how to execute and not overthink everything. We spend a lot of time overthinking. They make progress. Those that execute make progress while others are still stuck in planning mode. Execution is about creating opportunities and then moving on them. Thinking doesn't allow for that. So listen, one of the ways that I think I'm going to be able to really help you is that I have created an app called Momentum OS. The Momentum OS app is an app that is going to help you do some things by way of 72-hour sprints. Now, of course, you may not accomplish your goals in 72 hours, but the bottom line is, and the goal is to get you moving, right? Because we spend too much time, again, as I said, overthinking. So I want to just take you through the Momentum OS app so you can kind of see what the app actually does and how it actually works. So listen, here we are. We're at the Momentum OS app, okay? The Momentum OS app, as I said again, is really designed to help you accomplish your goals, but it actually places them within a 72-hour execution system. One of the things you're going to notice right away here is, of course, we're in a dashboard, but if you look to the left side of the screen here, as you look here on the left side of the screen, we see all of our drop downs. This is what you have access to in Momentum OS, okay? New Sprint is where you would go to actually start to load in whatever your particular goal is, okay? And so whatever it is, if you have a project that needs to be completed, or you've got a report you've got to get to your boss, listen, and you've got a week to get it in, the 72-hour sprint using Momentum OS app is one of the best ways to make this happen. And so what happens is just you would just go in here and you would just basically type in your goal, whatever your goal happens to be. And then also just below there where it says, what does success look like for you? Then you need to actually map that out. What does that look like for you, right? And once you get all of that filled in, you click on generate your new sprint plan, okay? And then it actually generates your new sprint plan. And so what I want to show you is I want to just take you into my sprint history. And so here is one of the sprints that I just completed. I'm currently completing a neuroscience coaching certificate right now. Because it aligns with what I do. And so if you take a closer look at this, you get tracking, right? So here's the tracking, right? And this will actually show you when you actually complete your sprint. But if you scroll down, you'll look at the days and how the days are actually broken up. It has every one of your action items in here that you have to complete. And not only are your action items here, but if you go to the just adjacent to that is it actually tags it. Is this critical? Is it important? Nice to have, right? It lets you know and it helps you prioritize. One of the challenges that people have when it comes to actually doing anything related to goal accomplishment is that they're so challenged by determining how to prioritize things. Well, you know what? Momentum OS resolves that for you. So that is actually, and so if you look closer here, that's day one. In day two, the exact same thing. It walks you through line upon line, line upon line, as it relates to your action steps. What should you be doing in the course of that day? And again, over here, you see where it says, nice to have, this is critical, this is important, this is critical, this is important. And it really helps you gain a real understanding of, hey, here's how I prioritize. I have to prioritize based on the level of importance. If it's critical, it definitely needs to be at the top of my list. If it's important, it definitely needs to drop in. And if it's a nice to have, then that is something that I know that it's important for me to do it. Yes. However, it's less important than something that I actually have to mark as important. And if it's important, then it's also less important than something that is marked critical. Okay. So the other thing we have over here, so you see my sprint history. Now we can get into analytics. Man, I'm just such a fan of analytics, man. Now if you're not using data to make or to inform your decision making, not necessarily make your decisions, but if you're not using data to inform your decisions, man, you're going to be challenged. And so what this data and this analytics section allows me to do is it will allow me to track all of my sprints. And so this is the first sprint. You can see my average completion right now across all sprints, because I've got multiple sprints in the system right now, was 33%. My average sprint score is 67%. And recent trends is 33%. Now, these 3 sprints that are actually in the system right now are not actually all mine, because I've got a couple of beta testers as well in this. And so it took an average of our scores. Okay. Now I showed you my score earlier. My sprint history shows that I had 100% there. All right. But the analytics allow you to now be able to make adjustments in how you're carrying out your work. Right. And you can only do that if you're collecting data. Right. And so we've got the analytics over here. Here's another feature we put in. It's called the Sprint Coach. Now I'm gonna tell you why I love the Sprint Coach. The Sprint Coach is like having AI at it's at the palm of your hands, okay? At the palm of your hands. You can ask whatever the question is. And so here's one of the questions that I asked. I'm having trouble focusing. What are some things I can do to stay focused? And here's what my Sprint Coach said. It says, as an expert execution coach for Momentum OS, my purpose is to help you set up and complete the 72-hour sprints. While I can't offer general advice on staying focused, I can definitely help you channel your focus into a concrete plan. Would you like me to start a new 72-hour sprint to tackle a specific goal? If so, tell me what you want to achieve. Now, see, what I love about this is that this Sprint Coach is available to you. Whenever you are, if you get stuck, if you're having a challenge, if you run into something, listen, this Sprint Coach is available for you to just tap at any given time to ask it a question in order to make adjustments to ensure that you can actually get through your 72-hour sprint. Here's the other thing that we built in. We built in a daily check-in. Now, I know many of you say, well, you know what? The daily check-in would definitely work for me because sometimes I might forget I'm doing whatever it is, right? Or sometimes I may, get sidetracked by doing something else. Well, the daily check-ins, you actually get emailed. The system, the app is actually tracking with you, and you'll receive emails and so here where you see where it says ready for your daily check-in, I'll guide you through a quick 3-minute review of your sprint progress and help you lock in tomorrow's priorities. Man, what a great way to to not just get on track and not just to stay on track, but then also have reminders so that you can really see completion of your goals, man. All right, here's something else that we built in. We built in profile badges. Many people say, hey, I accomplished this thing, but what did I get for it? Well, you know what? First of all, the thing you're going to get for it is that whatever's attached to that very real goal, hopefully you're putting real goals in here. There's always an award or reward as a result of doing that. But here's something that we built in. We built in badges. And so we've got badges for every step of the way. And as you hit certain levels in your progress, your badges go up, right? And so here, the first 3 badges I've actually earned. And so there's a first step, complete your first sprint. So that badge you will actually get. Perfect execution, meaning that you completed your goal within the 72-hour sprint. So you get 100% execution for that. And then here's also the task crusher. Complete every task in the sprint, right? And so I was able to do that as well. But as you go down, what you'll see is that this particular segment of badges is locked. Well, they don't open until you get to certain levels. So this first one is called a momentum builder. And in order to get this momentum builder badge, you have to complete 5 sprints total, right? And so I've personally completed 1 in the system as we've been testing it, okay? And then also there's a sprint veteran, meaning that you completed 10 sprints total. Man, can you imagine the data that you're going to be able to collect from the 10 sprints that you have accomplished? You know how much data and how rich that data is going to be for you to help you as you're continuing to progress and as you're continuing to learn how to complete your goals. Here's another one, high performer, meaning that you scored 90% or better on at least 3 sprints. Great badge to be able to get, but you got to accomplish that actual thing in order to get that badge. Okay. Here's another feature we put in. I love this feature. You know, this is some feedback we got from our beta testers. Industry news. Now, I'm gonna tell you why this is like critical. With industry news is where you're able to keep up with what's happening within your particular industry. Okay, and so I've got higher education in here. And so as a profession, so you could put your title in here, you could put your industry in here, and we're waiting for this to refresh right now. But you whatever you put in here, whether it be your actual title or whether it be your industry, what actually happens is that there are going to be a list of like articles and things that actually come up. And here they are, articles that will come up, and you can actually go to these articles. This is up to the minute, up to the second information. This article was actually posted 3 minutes ago. This was posted 4 minutes ago. This was posted 4 minutes ago, all related to your industry. And in my case, I have higher education here, all related to my industry. Okay. And so the article here is about technology, and which is actually comes off of Inside Higher Ed, which is I subscribe to them anyway. You don't have to actually subscribe to any of these actual services in order to utilize the industry news feature. It's a part of the app. Okay, this one actually comes out of a business journal, Higher Ed Drive, titled Higher Ed Drive. And so you go in, and so we'll just take a look at this particular article. You can either click directly on the article, or you can click the box here, which will take you to another web browser. But if I click on the article here, what happens is that now, because this is actually uses Google URL, right? And so now students remain in higher education higher ed's cybersecurity week link. Okay, boom. I click on that, takes me to the article, right? So I'm going to reject those there. But now it takes me to the actual article. Now, you say, hey, well, why is that really important? It's important. It is super important to your success to know what's happening in your industry, to be on top of what's happening in your industry, not just every now and then, but I mean, you need to be on, 24 hours, 7 days a week. You need to know what's happening in your industry. Why? Because that may contribute to your goals, or it may impact how you see your goals, or it may impact, they may impact some of the nuances of your goal. You never know. Okay. So that's super critical. All right. Here's another thing that we've added to the app: notes. Now, the reason why I thought this was important, and this is something that I actually came up with, is that I found myself, as I was using Momentum OS, I found myself wanting to actually take notes, but then I was having to leave the app in order to go and take notes somewhere else. And I was like, well, you know what? Let's put a note sheet inside, right? And so all I have to do is hit the addition, and I can just start typing. I can title my note and then just start typing what my note is, right? We'll go ahead and put that one in the trash for right now. The other thing is that once you have completed a sprint, here's the actual dashboard. So you're looking at the dashboard in its entirety now. You see Dr. Dre's dashboard, your momentum at a glance. You can go new sprint here, but this allows you to kind of see all of the features all at once, right? Again, you can start a new sprint. You're looking at your last 5 sprints here. Sprint trends, where you're able to determine trends based on a number of sprints you've done. Your average score, task crush, current streak, sprints done. Listen, this app, it does everything. It does everything. So here's what I do. I want to go back out. Here's what we have right now. You can actually utilize the app for free for your first 72-hour sprint. Okay, you can use it for free. We want people to get out there and try it. We have been promoting it, marketing it, because we want people to see it. Once you figure out, hey, you know what, this is a great tool. Our starter plan or our pro plan is only $19 a month. We're in a very, very sweet spot in the market as it relates to as it relates to competitors. $19 a month or $190 annually. Okay. If you're a coach, you can actually use it for $49 a month. And you can also, as a coach, you can also add the people or your clients to the app. And so you can track with them. There's another feature I wanted to show you all as it related to the app. And what I need to do is go to the cell. I want you to go to the mobile app version, because now I'm on a desktop now, but I'm getting ready to switch over to the mobile app version because I want you to see some things from the mobile app version. So here's the landing page. This is where you actually come in at. So here's the landing page. And as you scroll down on the mobile version, you actually see where you can start your first sprint for free. You can view pricing, free plan available, no credit card required. Want to make sure people know that. And then also some statistical information. It also breaks down who this is for. It explains, what problems are solved by using Momentum OS. It constrains your goals, 72 hours, one focus, everything else gets eliminated. Structure your execution, right? AI builds your day-to-day, day-by-day plan, so you never wonder what to do next. It enforces accountability. You got daily check-ins, you got performance scores that make you finish what you start, right? So this is what this app does. I mean, it really is like having an accountability partner with you 24 hours, 7 days a week, man. And so here, look, everything you need, built for people who want to actually execute. Now, if you want to actually execute, Momentum OS is going to help you do that. As I showed you earlier before, you've got your 72-hour sprint system here. You got the AI sprint coach. You get daily check-ins. You have performance analytics. Analytics are critical, man, when it comes to being able to see the nuances of your work and really being able to make those adjustments in order to see that you accomplish your goals more accurately, not just more accurately, but more consistently, right? This thing is about consistency. There's the industry news feed. It's an AI curated news personalized to your profession, right? And it keeps you on top of any type of industry news that's happening. You're able to read it, see it for yourself, and be, one of the first to actually see it, because this is 24 hours, 7 days a week. This thing stays up to date. And then also we've got some sprint templates built in, some things. If you want to look at some of the pre-existing templates, you can choose one of those or just create your own. 3 days, one result. I mean, we lay it out here for you. Then we also have some feedback from some of our beta testers. We got this out here. This is Jordan K, who's a product designer. He said, I launched my side project in a single sprint. Momentum OS turned my vague idea into a 3-day game plan, and I actually followed through. So, we've got some testimonials there. Your next 72 hours can change everything, right? And you understand that. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't talent or time. It's execution. And you got to start your first sprint, man. You can start your first sprint as early as today. That's what I'm encouraging anyone who sees this video to do. Again, start it today. As you can see here, we've got these tabs at the bottom. The one you want to dial in on right here is more, because more is where you'll be able to see that sprint drop down. You go to the dashboard, all the same things you saw that are kind of laid out as to, what you have access to. You really do access it here, okay? The other feature that we've just added is that we've added a 2-day extension to your 72-hour sprint. So once you go into the dashboard, and I'm going to history right now, but we've got a 2-day extension in. So if you want to extend your If you want to extend your sprint, you can do that. There's a button that's located in the bottom of the screen on the mobile app. There's a button in the bottom of the screen that you'll be able to extend your sprint. So listen, this is a phenomenal product. I just want to take some time to kind of put it out there, and I'm gonna switch back over to the desktop version. This is a phenomenal product. I'm telling you, we designed it with professionals in mind, those that have things that they're trying to accomplish and get done. You can do it. The Momentum OS app is definitely the app of the future. We, again, in comparison to some of the other apps that are out there, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna show you a quick comparison to at least 3 or 4 other apps that are out there right now. They have nothing like this in their apps. And these are from some popular people that you all are aware of. Let me also say that we'll eventually put this on the Apple platform. So you'll be able to access Momentum OS in the Apple Store, as well as the Google Store. You'll be able to purchase through them as well. The app has actually passed both of their credentials or qualifiers in order to be sold on those platforms. And so we've already gone through that, and we have clearance to actually get this app in the actual Sprint store as well as the Google store. So I'll take you through a few other features because I want you to see those. Okay, so I want you to see that here I created a new sprint. And so there's my goal, and then also what I want it to look like. And then also I pick my category, whether it's business. If you click the drop down, you see business, fitness, learning, creative, personal, career. So it's for business. And then I'm going to actually, boom, I'm going to click generate my plan. Okay, and so now it's actually creating my plan for me. And as we wait, what's going to happen is that, boom, there it is. So if you take a look at day one. On day one, this thing lays it out for you. Okay, it lays it out for you. Gather all required materials for modules 5 and 6, because I'm currently completing a neuroscience coaching certification. And so these are very real goals for me. And so just know that this testing is not being done with fictitious stuff. This beta testing is being done with actual goals that people are trying to accomplish. And so there's my day one in a snapshot. Also, remember, I point out, it tells you what's critical, what's important, and then what's what we call a nice to have. Now, nice to have doesn't mean that it's insignificant. No, it is still very significant because it's still a part of your goal, okay? Then it lays out day 2, okay, which would put us at 48 hours, at the end of 48 hours. Same thing, it lays it out. It kind of tells me what the day is, and then it lays out each one of the goals. It lets me know whether it's critical, important, or nice to have. And then here we are at 72 hours. It lays out the day and lays out each one of the goals. I'm telling you, man, the app is great. Here again, it tells me what they're listed as. I got a couple here that are critical, back to back, critical, important, and got a nice to have. Now, what you do here is either you can edit your goal or you can launch the sprint. And because this is a very real goal for me, guess what I'm going to end up doing? I'm going to launch the sprint, okay? So now I'm going to click, boom, launch the sprint. There it is. I'm on notice, okay? This is what you're going to see. It lists your goal, and it will tell you how many hours you have to get it done, okay? It shows that it's an active sprint, and if you scroll down, you see the same days, and you see what's laid out in the days. You get the same thing, critical, important, nice to have. So if you roll through all 72 hours, when you complete the sprint, meaning that you complete each one of your task here within the goal, you're going to click complete sprint. All right. Now, good news for you all, because I've been listening to my beta testers. They say, well, you know what? I didn't get everything done in 72 hours. Guess what we've now included? We now have a 48-hour stretch. Is that not amazing? We have a 48-hour stretch. So now I can click this and actually stretch the goal an additional 48 hours, right? Amazing. So the 72 hours, now somebody might say, well, you know, will somebody use that as a crutch? Hopefully not. You know, just that's why we kind of highlighted this button in kind of this bright orange to let you know, hey, yes, it's here, but you go to it when you absolutely have to, right? Go to it when you have to. Don't go to it. Get through that 72 hours. The goal is to get through those 72 hours and actually accomplish whatever that goal is. Now, certainly you're not going to put goals that you know that are like long-term goals in here, right? These are really more geared toward, that's why we call them 72-hour sprints. It's really geared toward short goals, not long goals. So by no means, put a goal in here that you know is going to take you 6 months to complete. Now, what I will say is this. You certainly don't want to put a 6-month goal in here. But what you may want to put in here is some aspect of that goal in order to get you moving, right, toward that 6-month completion, right? Knowing that you got a 48-hour stretch here, 48-hour stretch, okay? The other thing you can do here is that you can abandon a goal, right? And my hope is that you would never abandon a goal, that you would take advantage of the 48-hour stretch, and that you will learn by looking at your data. Remember, we've got analytics over here. By looking at your data, in order to make the necessary adjustments so that you never have to abandon a goal, but that you actually see kind of where you are in the process. So there's my new sprint. It's actually running. I'm gonna slip over to analytics right quick, because again, the whole idea of the analytics is simply this. You want to collect the data so you know, okay, where am I challenged? You know, what can I do differently in order to ensure that I'm able to accomplish my goals, right? So my new sprint is in effect. All right, so now I'm gonna go back to my dashboard. So this is the dashboard overall again, where you can see it all. The other thing I wanted to mention is that along with my sprint, there's a sprint history. There is a feature within this, and let's see if we can go to it. All this is a part of the drop down that I'm actually letting you see now. But there's a feature where, oh, I know where it needs to be. There's a feature where you can actually share, what you've accomplished on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is actually connected to this app as well. And I thought I had that feature located. Let's take a look. Hold on. Okay, so here's that feature I was talking about. So here is the completed sprint, right? My completed sprint. What I can do now is I can export it as a PDF for my personal records. Here's the feature that we've added. Now you can share it on LinkedIn. So now if I click on this, as you can see, LinkedIn comes up, and now I can share this on my LinkedIn. I can share my results on LinkedIn, which I'm going to do, by the way. Since this is the kind of first of the very real sprints that I have done in the system, I'm gonna share this on LinkedIn so people can see it and see how the app works. And I'm also going to be posting this video. So listen, Momentum OS is an app that any professional who has hard deadlines, has goals they're trying to accomplish, and is really serious about their industry, this app is for you, okay? Momentum OS, this app is for you. You got to get this app. Listen, check any of the videos that promote Momentum OS. Their links are there that'll actually get you to the landing page in order for you to sign up and be able to get your first sprint for free. You get that first 72 hours for free. You know, check the app out, get around in there. And I'm telling you, this app can do some amazing things. It is better than anything that in the market right now. I've seen some apps and stuff for coaches and things like that, but nothing really compares to this. All right. So listen, appreciate you checking it out and watching this and hearing more about Momentum OS. Listen, this app is for you. Click the link now. Go download the app right now.